All right, we are live for another Saturday, just an hour podcast where we talk about whatever comes to mind, whatever we think about in the moment. Pretty much we're just talking to ourselves, but we don't fucking care. So someone's gonna join sooner or later or say something. But Soto, oh,
Yeah,
it's a Saturday. We are doing this an hour earlier because Soto is a Celtics fan and they're down 0-2 and he's
yeah.
not looking good for you. And I don't know what happened to them because they should have won the series a little bit easier, in my opinion, at least from what I read. But what's going on with the Celtics? Tell me what's going on with your Celtics.
Celtics just are. I mean, they've missed a tremendous amount of shots, and if they make those shots, like that they usually did make, they'd be up. But historically, the Celtics suck at home. They just do in the playoffs. They always suck. They actually have a 20-9 record on the road in the last 4 years in the playoffs. So, um, I just for the sheer fact that they can't. Um, I can't expect them to not shoot better than they have. I still think that they can easily come back from this, um, hole. But it all starts as one game at a time tonight. But um, the Knicks are not in the class of the Celtics. They're just not. The Celtics are just a way better team. And the games have been decided by like not even a lot. So if the Celtics just get their heads out of their ass and start hitting those shots, I mean, they're getting a most ridiculous amount of open threes, and they're missing them, and then they're missing their layups as well. So I'm sure there's going to be a correction. There's no way Tatum, doesn't score. But if they go down 3-0, then my opinion changes because then that they can come back. So we'll see what happens tonight.
When did this game change? Now I haven't really followed basketball in a long time. But it's like,
Yeah.
and maybe it's just the Celtics play style, but it's like live by the three, die by the three. It's like, hey,
Yeah. Well,
I
it's
get it.
just math.
That's a thought, a train of
It's
thought.
math.
Um, and if it's not working, I'm like, well, you should change that. But they're just no fucking. This is who we are. So I mean, I know they won the NBA
That's it.
championship
That's
last year,
exactly it.
but
That's
still,
exactly it. They're like we are who we are because we play this way. And I know that as casual fans, obviously, we what the fuck do we know? Like clearly I'm 5'2". There's no basketball that was ever in my life. But like they're like we're gonna live or die of how we are. And in the modern NBA, you probably haven't watched basketball since like Michael Jordan.
no. I will be
From the
honest. So
fundamentals.
when I first lived on my own again, after my
Yeah,
first marriage, and I won't get into that. I was watching all sports. I was watching hockey. I was a huge Blackhawks fan. I think they won in like 2013. And I
yeah.
think they're close in 2010. And then I actually watched, but Derrick Rose was a fucking insane person. He won MVP
Of
and
course.
Rookie of the Year. I was like, then obviously injury. But
Yeah.
obviously, it's time we to joke about this adults. I just can't watch because I am a football guy. Football is always first for me, and I can
Of
honestly
course.
pretty
Yeah.
much watch any two teams if obviously if they're good. If they're shit, probably not. And I can be happy. I'm like, okay, especially fantasy football. And I do
Right.
love good playoff basketball and especially good playoff hockey.
Yeah.
Baseball is give or take a little bit because yes, those games can be boring, but if it's a team you love, you just kind of get through it. So there was a time I was really into all four sports. I just don't have
Yeah.
the time for it anymore. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on basketball or hockey. I'm like, oh, I'm don't got time to keep up.
Dude, I
I
watch
will read
baseball.
what's going on and like, oh, okay, Chicago sucks, Chicago sucks, Chicago sucks. I'm like, oh, it's been my life right now for the last 5 years, but whatever. So yeah, no.
Oh, dude, I mean, like the White Sox are doing good this year. I know you don't watch baseball,
They
but
were the worst
uh,
team last year. They had like what 24 wins last year. I don't even know how the fuck they. I know they took two when they took 2 3 out of 3 from Boston. I'm like
oh,
either
I'm sorry, no, it's
Boston
not the
Red
White
Sox
Sox.
suck. I'm like either
Right, right.
either the Red Sox suck or the White Sox got lucky because
Uh,
after last year and yes,
yeah,
the Cubs curse. I was fond of them. I was a huge when they signed Chris Bryant. I was like, oh, I've heard a
yeah.
lot about this kid, and yes, there was a lot of obviously heartfelt moments.
Been in the league 10
Um,
years. Yeah,
yeah, so I was either way. Like I said, I haven't this year I haven't really kept up on baseball as much. Every now and then, like I said, I'll peak. I just haven't peaked yet. I think I'm just waiting for basketball and hockey. I mean, it's over in
Oh,
Chicago, anyways.
I
But
watch I watch the Red Sox every night. Um, because with baseball, I can have it on in the background while I'm doing other things. I can't do that with basketball. Like basketball, it's like you got to pay attention. And to be honest, football is the same way. Like football is like to me, football
Mhm.
has a lot of action in it. Like you can't really like turn away. Like you blink and you miss stuff. But baseball, eh, I can go into the kitchen. I can do some stuff like it's on in the background. I can hear it on in the background. I can go on the internet like while baseball is on. Some people may call that boring. I find that to be comforting because every night, if I'm just like I don't know what to do or I don't know what to watch, I can just turn it on and the Red Sox are on every single fucking night. And I may watch it like all the way to the end, and I may not. Like last night, they got to 11 innings, and I was like, I'm done. Like I don't want to watch this anymore. I've already invested 3 hours, and I'm not gonna watch the end of this. I don't care. And sometimes I will watch an entire game, like if it's on the middle of the day. But the Celtics, they're going to be ending soon. Not hopefully not sooner rather than later. But like if the Celtics do get bounced out of the playoffs, it saves me $100 a month because I'm paying to stream them on YouTube TV. And the Red
yeah.
Sox I'm paying to stream them on Fubo, which costs me like $89. So I have this like overlap of like really expensive sports streaming just to be able to watch my regional sports, which I think is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like that I
Oh,
have to
it's
do that.
hundred
Like
percent
it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous because like I canceled cable because it was like almost $300 a month. Um, because the sports packages on these cable packages, that's what like shoots up the price. So if you want to like watch sports, like you have to fucking pay a shit ton just to watch sports. And then on top of that, every commercial now is like DraftKings, bet your fucking money, like all that stuff. It's like, how much more fucking money does sports want from us? Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, we
So
got rid of
I don't know.
cable a long time ago, and I told Jill, I'm
Oh
like, hey,
yeah.
listen, if you want to get Nesson, I'm like, we can get. And I think she got to the point like, yeah, I just don't care that much. So, because I'm like, yeah, if you're gonna watch it, then we'll get it. I'm like, but if you're not, I don't want to pay for it. But yeah, we got rid of cable, we got rid of YouTube TV. We have a few streaming services that we actually do use every now and then. But for the most part, yeah, it's just insane. And yeah, the Red Sox, it's just like, oh, only on Nesson.
Uh,
So it is what it is.
Every I mean I've spent so Fubo cost me like $89. And the Fubo carries Nesson. I didn't want to get Nesson 360 because it's just not feasible. And I have to like play Fubo on my TV because PlayStation fucking 5 doesn't have Fubo as an app. So I had to find Fubo as an app built into my fucking television in order for me to watch the Boston Red Sox, to have the privilege of watching the Boston Red Sox every night.
Yeah, privilege. That's what. Yeah.
Just think about that sentence though, like 20 years ago, like I'm watching an app inside of my TV, like
Like, what the
like
fuck's an app on a TV?
TV is connected to the internet. It also
Why can't
has
you just put
apps.
it on like channel 4?
Ugh. So yeah, I mean, fuck, man. Hopefully the Celtics win. I don't care. I'll be sober for the whole thing. Um, so maybe that'll be good luck. That's what I'll tell myself. Because I've been quite drunk the last two games, so maybe that affected the Celtics
Well,
performance. So
you could be sober starting, and by the end, depending if it goes wrong, I can see you. Obviously, you're like fuck it, and definitely drinking. So we'll see. You know
I
what?
mean,
If you're drinking, then it's not good. If you're like, hey, I'm sober, then we're like, oh
I
shit,
mean,
the
dude,
Celtics are winning.
they won the fucking championship last year. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they don't win this year. Like, okay,
To
we won the
lose to the
championship
Knicks,
last
but to
year.
lose to the Knicks, it's one thing losing to
I
like
don't care.
Cleveland or the fucking Knicks. I mean, come on.
Hey, dude. I mean, if they can't if they don't want it, then they don't want it.
This is
Like, you know
true.
what I
That
mean?
is
But
true.
I just don't like. When I was younger, I would be way more attached to outcomes, and I would get like violently angry when the Red Sox would lose or when anybody would lose. But I'm not trying to rub this in your face, but I feel like I've been blessed in Boston the last like 20, 25 years with a lot of championships. So now I'm just like, cool, man. Like, oh, the Red Sox going to be under 500 this year? It's all right. As long as they're on TV and I can watch them. Or Celtics, they don't win. Um, they don't win. How many fucking sports games have you and I watched like in our lives? Like, This shit's 50-50. Who fucking knows?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully, I'll be in a nice mood later tonight. So
We'll see. We'll see.
we'll see.
And we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. So maybe
We definitely will.
Yeah. Speaking about
Oh, we got wrestling though.
we do got wrestling,
yeah.
and yes, Backlash is on tonight. And as of right now, there's like 5 matches, none of which I really, not that I don't give a shit. I just think everything is pretty
Really?
predictable. It's because everything's predictable
Really?
right now. Yes, there's.
I mean, they look entertaining.
I mean, here's the thing. They might be good.
All right.
The only thing I'm
Break it down.
curious
Break it
about.
down. Break it down.
All right, so hold on. Let me pull this. Obviously, we know. I'm gonna try and pull this on my phone real quick because I had it, and let's see.
I mean, but I just want to watch.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 6 matches. Because all right, they must have announced one. All right, so hold on, real quick. Here are the 6 matches, and 4 of these matches are dealing with new championships. But we'll get to the main event because the main event's the only thing I care about because I think that'll be the most hilarious thing to me for some reason. But yeah, they got a women's championship match: Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax.
Yep.
Stratton should win. She had a huge win against Flair, so there's no reason for her to drop the belt now. Okay. Intercontinental Championship: Dominic Mysterio, who just won, versus Penta. That actually could be a very entertaining match, but to me, Mysterio just won the belt, so I don't think he's losing it anytime soon. A U.S. Championship 4-way: Jacob Fatu, who you started to like a little bit. He's facing Drew McIntyre.
I like all these guys.
LA Knight, Damian Priest, which should actually, again, it will be a good fight.
This could be cool.
It's going to be a good match, but yes, Fatu should win. The Women's Intercontinental Championship should change hands because they made Becky Lynch a heel. And when you make someone heel that's been pretty much a face, they're going to cash in on this. So, yeah, Lyra Valkyrie was the initial champion, but now she can lose it. But there is one, I will be honest. Hold on a second. Before I get to the main event, there's one match because we joke about it so many times.
Yes, we do.
Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
So you have such disdain for Pat McAfee, which I laugh at because I'm just like, whatever. I've seen a couple matches, but we're talking more about broadcasting. Why this disdain? You tell me. Ooh, excuse me.
He's just such a fucking bro, man. Like, I just fucking hate his type of person and personality and everything. And plus, he sucks as the color guy or anything like that. Ruins fucking moments. And I mean, I just hate his face. I think that's okay for me to say.
Oh no, you can say whatever you want. You can have an opinion.
Sometimes you just see somebody you're like, I hate your fucking face, and I hate. Isn't he fucking friends with Aaron Rodgers and shit like that?
Well, I don't. I'm going to say friends loosely because I'm going to say I don't know. I know Pat McAfee has a very successul podcast, and obviously he's sports. He's big into college football.
Sure.
So I think Aaron Rodgers comes on to the podcast, and part of that, yeah, he might. So I never want to say friends because I don't know. So there is that possibility because, yes, Rodgers is a tool. I'm sorry. He is great. Should have probably won a hell of a lot more than he did, but that's a discussion for,
poor baby.
I know.
Poor Aaron Rodgers.
So yeah, no, Pat McAfee, whatever. He put his time in the ring. He has some decent matches. But yes, Gunther is pissed, and Gunther's going to chop the living shit out of this guy. And I know that's all you want to see. This should be a squash match unless Gunther kind of does that old heel tactic and pulls their head up like, no, I'm going to beat this man some more. So no,
or does somebody jump in and save McAfee?
No, that is not happening. Gunther's going to whoop the man. No, someone might try and jump in and save him, but they're going to get the shit beat out of him too.
Would you want to start another thing with Gunther? What's Gunther doing right now?
Well, because he just lost his belt, and I know he lost in storyline. He lost his way, and McAfee kind of fueled the fire. So he's going to come in, beat the shit out of, because he can't go after Jay right away. He's got to do his own thing. He's got to evolve as a character, as we like to say. And the first thing is he's going to squash McAfee and anyone McAfee brings with him. So yes, I foresee.
Really?
100%.
Doesn't sound interesting at all.
Unless you hate McAfee.
That sounds predictable, though, doesn't it?
This whole thing seems predictable as far as winners go. I mean, I cannot see Gunther losing because they got to keep him kind of close to the top of the card for whatever comes next for him. McAfee is just a step. There's nothing McAfee gains by winning this match. Nothing.
At least
Yeah.
my wife will like Dominic Mysterio versus Penta, so that'll give me
That should
some
actually that and to me that's
points.
actually going to be a fun match. Like I said, the matches are going to be probably good. I'm just saying the outcomes are very predictable. Because yes, we go to the main event, Cena versus Orton. The last time the
Yeah.
two of them are going to fight each other, because obviously
Mhm.
this is Cena's last year. So obviously everyone knows he just the great turn. He's heel, Orton's face, which is hilarious. And then the latest SmackDown, someone threw a beer bottle at him, and he kind of stopped the
Yeah.
promo. It was just funny as shit. I like to see his matches because he is past his prime. I'm not gonna lie, and his matches are
Ugh.
boring as shit. But his promos
Yeah,
are
that
funny as fuck. I'm like, oh my god, because he's going out in style. He's like, listen, he's taking a chance on a character. Because yes, he could have phoned it in. He could have phoned in this next year, just been a good guy. Like, listen, I'm going to play the hits. It's what I want to do. And they would have said, okay, because it's fucking Cena. So the fact that he decided to do this, and Triple H agreed. So yes, I like I said, I
eh.
don't need to see this live. I will replay this back just to see what happens. But there's no way Orton's winning. Not here. So either way,
I mean,
like I
it'd be
said,
cool if he did, but it would make absolutely no sense because then what do you do with John Cena for the rest of the year?
well, yes, and I think as a lot of people said, I think obviously Cody's going to be the one to take the title off, and Cody's going to do it by a little bit cheating, like Cena did the hitting with the belt. We'll see. But yeah, no, Cena first. It will be a good down ride down memory lane. And that's it. Like I said, I mean, I'll probably have this on in the background a little bit and check out. If the matches are good, but I'm just more saying the outcome is going to be fucking predictable, and sometimes it's not
Like,
a
so do
bad
you
thing.
think like John Cena and the whole fucking Seth Rollins thing will ever
No, because
intersect
they're
this
on
year?
separate brands. There's no
Why?
point.
The brands. Oh God, why? Explain that to me. I don't understand the SmackDown versus Raw thing. Like, I know that started right as I stopped watching, but like, they're two separate brands.
Yeah, they're two separate shows. Rollins is more on Raw, and Cena's on SmackDown. Hence why,
Oh my
like, once. So no. Rollins will go after Uso. It's gonna take. They're not gonna put them together because Uso just won. But yeah, no, Rollins will be champ. He'll beat Uso. No, and maybe they'll cross paths, but there's no need. There's no need. Cena's gonna play the hits. He's gonna face Orton because longtime rival.
Yeah.
He will face Punk, and probably beat him because they were big rivals too. Those were always great matches. But at the end game, just makes sense right now, unless he gets injured. Cody's on a break, so people forget about him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, yeah, Orton will face a lot of his previous challengers. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But no, I mean,
Huh.
maybe they have an interaction, but they're not going to fight. Rollins and Heyman and Breaker, they got their own shit going on, which that's actually pretty. That to me is entertaining. Just nothing of that is going to be on this pay-per-view. Excuse me, premium
Wow.
line of event because it's no longer pay-per-views. Um, so we'll
What are they
see.
called? Premium what? Premium
Premium
live
live
event?
events because technically you don't pay for the events anymore. Well, think about it. Back in our day, well, when you were little, they were like $25 and they went to like 50,
A
60
little.
bucks, 70 for WrestleMania. So they're not pay-per-views because you're not paying for the event. I mean, you are if you pay for the
True.
streaming service, but you know what I mean. So yes, now
Hmm.
they've kind of changed the name up a little bit. So PLEs, as they like to say. But either way, like I said, it's not that I don't want to watch. I'm just not gonna, like I said, I'll probably have it on the background. I will check out the end of the Orton and Cena thing just because I'm curious, like because
Hmm.
obviously something's gonna happen.
Hmm.
And then,
Oh
obviously
wait, I
just
don't even get any Rhea Ripley tonight. I don't get
nope,
any Rhea Ripley tonight.
nope. She's on the break.
Oh,
That champion EOS
oh
guy too. Well,
no!
because
Oh no!
yeah, it's gonna happen. The next big event. I mean, they got a Saturday night main event. And I think that's Uso versus Logan Paul that they're gonna work towards. But the Money in the Bank will be the next premium live event where you're
Oh,
gonna see a lot of the stars, and that's something we will definitely talk about because I love Money in the Bank concept.
I
I think
have
that's
not
just awesome.
seen Money in the Bank, so that'll be
Well, I know we
interesting.
talked about like it's just a basic, I say basic, a 6 to 8 man ladder match, which we've seen.
Mhm.
But like I said, it's what comes afterwards that makes that such a great concept.
Pretty
But yeah, I
cool.
mean, a ladder match is fucking amazing. And you have 6 to 8 competitors because basically it's a guaranteed world championship contract. And Soto, not only will there be a men's one, there will be a woman's Money in the Bank ladder
Nice.
match. And that's always entertaining. So we'll see. But first, yeah, I mean, Backlash is Backlash. And so it was only 3 weeks since WrestleMania. It's tonight. And like I said, I'll check out the results, but I'm not going to be like putting it on like, okay, let's see what happens. So I'll check most of it out tomorrow.
I don't know, I'm even watching the whole goddamn thing. This is
I mean, it's
gonna be
on
my
Peacock,
night.
so you might as well.
I mean, fuck it, dude. I'm not doing it. I've told you many times. Like, I love the whole idea that there's like these pay-per-views. I know they're not called that, but that there's these events on Saturday nights. I can watch them, and I still have Sunday. Like, I don't
Yep.
have to, like WrestleMania. Sure, I watched both nights. I regret that I did, but I did. And
Yeah,
then,
but that was
I
a
got to go to
huge
work the
event.
next morning.
That was a
Oh, of
special
course,
event.
yeah. But like, I like that it's Saturday because I can stay up. Like Saturday is like my one night that I can kind of stay up a little bit later than normal, and not have to like really like feel it like the next day because I could just like sleep in. So I like that these things are on Saturday. So I fucking watch them. I told Sarah and she was like, "Oh, jeez," and I'm like, "What do you mean? It's wrestling, like, and it's fucking on. Like, what else am I doing? Like, the Celtics will be done by fucking I don't know, like 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm not going to watch the Red Sox over this because this seems way more entertaining. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch any of the Raws. I don't watch any of the SmackDowns. Like, I only see some highlights here and there on TikTok.
Yeah,
So
whatever
I'm like,
pops up.
I have a very like disjointed idea of the stories, but I don't care about the stories. The characters are like what I'm looking at. Like, I really want to see Randy Orton. John Cena to me is whatever. And I like the Fatal Four Way idea. So I mean, there's going to be enough here to entertain me while I'm like spending a Saturday night in for sure. And maybe I can get drunk because I might have to with some of this stuff. But like I told you, I never drank when I watched wrestling before. So now I'm old enough where I drink.
You're like, I can drink
And
now.
so it's like, oh my God, I'm having a beer and watching wrestling. These things go perfectly together. It's like it just makes you stupid enough to be like, okay, cool. Like I'm totally into this right now. And I had no idea what the fucking card was until we just talked about it. So now that I
Yeah, no,
found
I
out
just had to
Rhea
look it
Ripley was
up,
there,
and like
was sad.
outside of Orton and Cena, I mean, I forgot about the Pat McAfee Gunther, and I think that's just more personal. But everything else
Punta.
is just, yeah, everything else is just there, and but like I
Yeah.
said, it just looks. I mean, I could be wrong. The one thing is the entertainment. But like I said, 3 out of the 4 championship matches, they just got crowded at WrestleMania, so I just can't see them losing, especially
Yeah.
with the success and the other two. We'll see. You know what? Anything can happen. No one thought Rock was
That's
gonna appear
yeah.
on the show. I could be wrong. Like I said, the only thing. I mean, I will see whatever Gunther happens to Pat McAfee. We'll see that beat down. And like I said, I will check out the Orton scene at least the end because I don't care about the match overall. Just how did that end? But you're right. The Fatal 4 Way should be a fun match. Like I said, and we'll see. We'll see. Oh.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I watch for the surprises because you're right, it's predictable, but who knows? I might see something.
You never know. I
Oftentimes
mean, Rock appears and then he doesn't, and people don't know what's going to happen. So I think that's why a
that's
lot of
true.
people are pissed.
Yeah.
Well, if he didn't appear at that elimination chamber and did that slit of the throat to Cena, which is fine. Like I
Yeah.
said, you're like, oh, I'm invested. What the fuck's happening? But then he doesn't appear at WrestleMania. It's just so. And then we get fucking Travis Scott. Like, no one cares about
Oh,
Travis Scott.
I didn't
I don't even know
understand
who the
that at
fuck
all.
Travis Scott. I think just because he's Hollywood or just more
He makes their
celebrity.
song, like he's a humongous hip hop star. He has their theme song, and so he used that to kind of get into it. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me.
No,
There was
no.
no juice to that. There was no juice to that match at all. There's more juice to like the Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns,
Oh,
CM Punk stuff.
100%.
Like that
Yeah.
stuff is like really
That
interesting.
that that yeah, that just a lot of people thought a tag match might have come down for this pay-per-view, but they're gonna save it for something bigger, so we'll see. Um,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but Soto, every week me and you talk movies, and I'm changing subjects here because we do the 200
Yeah, why
movie
not?
challenge, and
Yeah.
we've hit like I think we're at. Hold on, let me look at my notes here. I got my notebook beside me. 68 movies me and you have talked about this year alone. That's like the
I
most
know. 5 months.
outside of working at Blockbuster. That's the most movies we talked. I mean, we didn't realize it talking about Blockbuster. This is the shit we're gonna be doing. But I had to
Yeah.
laugh because a couple days ago I brought up and we've talked about like food a lot on our channel, from like last
Yes.
meals and stuff. And you kind of also brought up the whole roast beef, the hot roast beef and cheese, and tried to
Oh,
explain
so
it.
good.
So,
So good.
first of all, there's going to be kind of two parts of this, and I'm going to laugh at this, and I kind of make fun of you. I'm like, dude,
Uh,
I brought home an egg salad. I ate it. I was happy. Then you needed an egg salad sandwich. What makes a fucking egg salad sandwich so fucking good? Tell
oh,
why? Why?
I mean, well, here's what happened. So the idea of an egg salad sandwich, I couldn't get it out of my mind. Like we were talking about how like in Japan, the 7-Elevens like have like these very artfully crafted egg sandos. And I just love a good fucking solid ass egg salad sandwich. It's really nice and easy to eat, and I love the mayo, I love the tanginess, all that stuff, right? So, I went home that night and I did not have an egg salad sandwich, and I was sad about it. So I woke up the next day and I was like, I'm going to get an egg salad sandwich. I was gonna buy one after work. I was gonna go to like Market Basket or something like that, and I told Sarah, and she was like, "You're only going to Market Basket because you want an egg salad sandwich." And I'm like, "That is
I shop
also
there. I'll be
there."
honest. That's where I do my grocery shopping. Just easy. It's on my way home, and I do it. So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna I'm
I'm
not
like,
gonna shit on Market Basket. I'll tell you
no,
that.
I love Market Basket. I go there every single day. Well, not every single day, every single week. Good lord. But I get an egg salad sandwich there. But I said, nah, I'm gonna order an egg salad sandwich sub from DoorDash. That was what was on my mind. So I ordered from a local place, and now on DoorDash you have to like choose all the ingredients that you want. I just wanted a fucking egg salad sandwich, like just how it comes. I don't know what you get it with, but like an egg salad sandwich is not really rocket science. It's eggs and mayonnaise. Um, so as I looked through the list of ingredients to choose from, I said, no, I don't want any of this stuff. This is whatever. I saw that there was ingredient for mayonnaise, and I said to myself, well, I don't want extra mayonnaise because that's gross. Like I only want the proper amount of mayonnaise. Like I don't want this to be a gross mess. So I didn't choose mayonnaise. So when this fucking foot long egg salad sandwich came to me and I
Oh
opened it up,
no, 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 no.
is basically all it was just a fucking molded. It was just the hard boiled eggs like chopped up and molded into a shape.
Oh, they did.
There was no
Oh,
there was no mayo at all. It was just
that's
fucking
wrong.
like mashed together.
That
Like
is so.
that literally happened yesterday. That happened to me. So I had to go into my fridge and I had to grab my mayonnaise, my personal mayonnaise, Cane's mayo, by the way, which is my favorite. And it's only like in New England where you can find Cane's mayo. So I had to fucking apply mayonnaise to a sandwich that I bought. And it was like serviceable, but certainly not
Not the
what I
same.
was looking for.
Not the same. Oh my
Not what I was
god,
looking. It
that
was
is wrong.
as fuck. Dry as fuck, right? Which is right there. The worst thing you could think about with an egg salad
Oh,
sando. And I had to eat like a foot long sub of like barely mayonnaised dry egg salad.
I feel so bad because I'll be honest. There's not much. And I'm gonna have a second question follow up to this in a second, but there's not much that I
Right.
need in my egg salad. I can have
No.
just egg salad and that's fine. If it's
Yeah.
done right. I
Mhm.
do usually ask for a little lettuce and pepper, and sometimes some cheese. If I'm in a cheesy mood, you can do like just an American cheese. That's fine. Um,
Yeah.
Simple, but no, man. Like, yes, because I agree with you. There's something just having way too much mayo on it, which could
Yeah.
ruin it. You don't want it soupy, for lack of better terms. But
Oh
yeah, so
yeah.
yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, because I think I told you I ordered from Janats. I love Janats. I grew up on Janats in Nashua. Um,
Mhm.
and it was hit or miss. There was a couple times I went and their egg salad was just bland and I was sad. I'm like, nah, I'm going to take the chance again. And I'm glad because the one I got last week, I was so happy. I was in heaven. I'm just eating there, watching Doctor Who. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm in my own world.
Oh,
Fuck all of you.
that's awesome.
But yes, you don't need, but when you say no mayo, yeah, you don't. I get what you're trying to do, but still, I know
I
some
didn't
people.
choose it. I
No,
didn't
no, no.
choose it as an option. I didn't say no. It just didn't choose it. I was betrayed.
That's what, no, but
Oh.
I'm agreeing with you. So let's get away from the egg salad. So I kind of want to talk subs because we talked about a lot. Like, what is your ideal sub though? Like, if you one sub, like if you just had to choose a sub and you had whatever on it, what would you choose?
Cold or hot? Like,
That's
because
actually, you know what? Both. Let's do two separate ones because yes, it will be
wow. Oh,
different.
separate ones.
You know, no,
Separate
because I
ones?
agree with you. Now that you said it like that, I'm like, I actually, yes, because I have an answer for both now that you said that. So, yeah, cold, what would be your go to cold? Because, yes, I love egg salad. I can just be like, fuck up the world. But I'm like, it's not my
Yeah.
go to. I do have a go to, which I will explain. But, yes, what would be your go to cold sub and what's your go to hot sub? We're here
Dude,
talking
my
about
go
food.
to
Fuck it.
my go to cold sub is the most simple thing, and this is actually my go to cold sub because I get it all the time. Um, it's just like a ham and cheese sandwich, like sub with mustard and mayo. That's what I get all the time. It's just so fucking simple. And when I'm having a cold sub, like I'm not really a big fan of all the lettuce and the pickles and all this other shit.
I
I
see.
mean, I
I'm the other
have
way.
like
I'm the other way.
I have gotten like fucking salamis and super fucking subs, but I want my cold sub to be as simple as possible, like not messy, and I like just like ham and cheese. I think it's like ham and provolone is what I usually get. Um, it's not exciting. It has nothing in it, but it's one of those things that the place that I get it is called Jim's, which is right down the street from me. I just really like their bread. And so, having a very simple sandwich setup with them, with just eating their bread for me, is very enjoyable. And that's kind of how I would do it. I just don't think that, like, I used to love Italians, like with the works and shit when I was younger. Like really with the works, like everything, like every fucking goddamn meat that you could put in there. Absolutely. But like now I'm old and I get fucking heartburn, so I can't fucking eat that much fucking
But you go
uh
to the
like
ham, which has
cured meat.
sodium beyond, and I say that jokingly because I know
But
what
it's like
way.
only one though. Like, it's not like 18 fucking different like salamis and fucking all that shit. When you get like a super Italian, like it's always like overstuffed. So I keep it nice and simple with my cold sub. So did you want me to move my hot sub or did
Well,
you
hold
want to
on.
talk
No,
about it first?
I will, since we're doing this. First of all, Jill loves Italian, and for her, it's just like pickles and
Yeah.
mayo. Everything else,
Mhm.
and for me, it's cold sub. I used to, well, being poor, because ham was usually the cheapest. I would make ham sandwiches most of the time. So high in sodium. So I've actually pretty much quit ham. But if I had a choice, and we joked about this, yes, I go to roast beef. Roast beef is my go-to, lunch meat. I know turkey is a little bit
Oh, I
healthier,
love it.
but I do,
Yeah.
if we're just talking sub, I do the lettuce, pickle, tomato, and mayo. And like I do
Yeah.
need those. Yeah,
That's
like I
classic.
could do. Don't get me wrong. I could do a roast beef and cheese, and I will be fucking happy.
I
I
mean,
do
of
not.
course, dude.
I'm actually. I'm not a fan of Italian subs, and I'm not a fan of a lot of the subs that do like two or three different meats. I just like I love ham, I love turkey, I love roast beef, but I'm like I just
Yeah.
want to enjoy that. But yes, my
Mhm.
go-to obviously roast beef, cheese, and I will tell you this, though I do like American cheese, if I had a choice, I love pepper
Mhm.
jack cheese. I like a little kick. So I don't do mustard. There's times I have done mustard. I will do mayo, but I like the pepper jack cheese is enough if it kicks me. But yes, give me the
Pepper
lettuce,
jack.
tomato, pickles all the time. My friend Brian, he'll do like the works, um, the oils, the seasoning. I'm like, no, I don't need any of that. Just lettuce, tomato, pickle, roast beef and cheddar, or
Mhm.
excuse me, pepper jack,
Keep
and
it
I'm
simple.
happy. And I'm like, I'm
Keep it
good.
simple.
I'm good. Yep, mayo and mayo has to be mayo.
Mhm. Oh, hell
And
yeah, dude.
that's my go-to. Like I said, but like I said, as you know, we've talked about. I've just done roast beef and cheese at home. I'm fine with that too. Roast beef is just my go-to meat. But yeah, Italian subs.
That's my go-to, yeah, for sure. Like lunch meat wise, like I have it in my fridge, but yeah, but
Yeah, and when I stopped making sandwiches at home more for weight reasons. But I used to just make so many
oh
turkey
sure.
subs, and I went through a year. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just eating sandwiches, which wasn't the smartest thing for me at that moment in time. But yeah,
I eat these fucking like keto sandwich bread things. I don't know how cool they are, but they're like no carbs and they have like fiber and stuff. And sometimes I have to forget that like I can't eat five of them because they're like 32% of my fiber for each
But
slice.
can you?
So yeah, and I mean I have like the other night I was drunk and I ate like a bunch of them. I think because we had pasta and shit. I was fucking hammered. It was like Wednesday, and I was using bread to sop up like the sauce of like the pasta and shit. Before I knew it, I had like five slices. I was like, "Oh, my fiber intake has increased dramatically." But yeah, no. But I never like. What kind of bread do you get on your subs? You never get like wheat or anything like that, right?
No, no,
So
I just
just
do
one.
white. I am fine with white. I know the nutritional value is not there, and I don't fucking care on my subs. Um, I
Okay.
don't care. You know, like I said, I mean, I have got usually when I was in my sandwich phase, I did get wheat bread at home just to get a little something. But no, fuck it, man.
Yeah.
You go white bread is enough for me. Like just simple white subs. Like I don't so like Quiznos. You know, when that came around, that was a very popular thing. I think they're still around, obviously, but their big thing was
The
what
parts, yeah.
toasting the sub. Like no,
Oh yeah, love
I'm
that shit.
not a big toast into the sub. Like even when I had hot dogs, even toast, like it has to be so light. Like if you burn that shit, I am so unhappy. But I never got no people. I'm
I'm
serious.
so
Like
unhappy.
you know on social media they say like where's your level of toast or where's your like it's literally the lightest of the light. Like I don't mind a little
Oh
bit, but
wow,
like toasted subs.
suggestion.
Oh no, I'm just like I can't fucking do it. I like because we talked
Wow,
about the roast beef
texture?
and cheese. Maybe.
Is it a texture thing?
I think it's just a taste thing. Like I'm fine. Like when I have a sub, I just fucking
Grilled
want a
cheese and
sub.
shit.
I don't want like crispy. You know, just give me, I just want plain bread. But yes, white bread I'm fine
How do you
with.
make
White rolls.
how do you make a grilled cheese? It's like crusty and crispy on
So
the outside.
that's probably the worst case scenario where I want it brown. But once it gets blackish, I'm like nope. But like grilled cheese might be the
I didn't
only
know this.
exception because you can't just have it light. You have to melt that cheese over all that shit. Um,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
all
Yeah,
right, so
that's mandatory.
oh yeah,
Wow.
agreed. So that's the closest. But like regular subs, like we're like, you want your sub toasted? Nope. I'm like, so we're gonna get to that in a second because that was kind of hot sub. You know, you ask what is
Yeah.
your go to hot sub?
Mine is really easy. It's my go-to sub if I'm like gonna have a hot sub end of my life or whatever. It's just a steak bomb.
Agreed.
Because
So
it's
fucking
the
agreed.
steak. It's so good. It's got fucking salami in that shit. Like it's got everything that you. It's basically like I'm
Peppers, onions,
hungry and I'm
mushrooms.
yeah, and I'm going to delete the fact that I'm hungry right now. I know that if I eat this, I will not be hungry for an hour, like hours, like afterwards. It's so fucking good.
So
Oh, but I can't eat it. I can't fucking eat a goddamn steak bomb
I
right
will
now.
once in
I
a
would
while,
die.
once in a great while, because so my friend Brian, he used to work at the sub shop Christopher's, which I know we've talked about again,
Yeah,
and they
of
have a
course.
great steak bomb, and I love the peppers, the onions, and the mushrooms, like fucking loaded. And usually,
Oh, so good.
while we're coaching, once during my coaching session, I will get it when I'm in the mood. I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing this. This is my dinner. This is my day. Whatever. But again, like mayo and just plain bread. Like I don't need that bread toasted. Just give me plain white bread. Put
No,
all that shit on it.
I don't get no.
And no, I agree with you. The steak bomb, steak, you know, like even when we went to Philly, the steak and cheese, a huge fan. But yeah, they have a great steak, but they even have a great chicken. They call it chicken palm. So freaking good. But yeah, give me all
Chicken
those
bomb sounds pretty good,
peppers, onions, and
but
mushrooms. Put all that shit on.
oh,
Grill
dude,
them up.
just destroy
I'm
it.
so happy. But
It's the worst. It's
I'm
the
like,
worst
no,
for you in the
it
world.
is. But you know what? Like, if you're gonna have a cheat day and like, fucking, I'm doing this. I'm like, yep. And
The steak
I
bomb.
100% agree with you and your selection on that. Like steak
Well,
bomb,
but you
like that
might
is
not
perfect.
agree. I do put a condiment on it that you may not agree with, though.
Oh, don't tell me you put ketchup on that. Why would
I
you
do
ruin that
not
shit?
forget.
Okay, good,
But
good.
but sometimes if I'm in the mood with a steak bomb, I will do this one thing, and that is sometimes I will use a little bit of A1 sauce in that fucking sub. And I'm telling you, it's fucking ridiculous. It's like it's the best thing ever, man. And
I
I learned that in college, and it just stuck with me this entire time.
I'm not totally against A1 sauce. I've never been a big fan. I personally haven't been a big fan of it. It's funny
Mhm.
because my stepdad And, when I was in high school, like I've had friends over, at the time a girlfriend over, and they'd be like, "Oh, do you have A1 sauce?" And he'd be like, "Why ruin the steak with that?" So I can get that on the roast beef, on a steak bomb. I get it. I don't choose that. I'm okay with that. Like I said, at least you didn't say ketchup, because I'd be like, "What the fuck are you ruining your
No,
steak bomb with ketchup
no,
for?"
I wouldn't do that. Like I'm not. Oh no, like that doesn't go there. Because ketchup is so like I really don't eat ketchup. Although actually, the older I've gotten, the more I've been like into ketchup. Not like into it, but it's like I will dabble with it. But I don't like. We make meatloaf with ketchup, and sometimes I use a little bit of ketchup on it. But it's so sweet that it's
Yeah.
like it's hard for me. It fucks me up, acid reflux wise. I know
You
it's
can
like an
make it
old
with
person thing.
barbecue sauce too. Just throwing that out there. I know
I
that's
guess
not
you
your
could.
typical meatloaf. I get it, but I'm
Well,
just
Sarah makes it with mustard because, and that we make like a mustard loaf too, and that shit's really good. But I don't know, ketchup is. I gotta be in the fucking mood for it, man. It's just such a like strange condiment. Um, Obviously we've talked about it being on hot dogs and whatnot, and that's fine. Some people can put it on hot dogs. I won't. Um, but yeah, like ketchup on a steak bomb. I don't think that would work at all. But yeah, steak
no,
bombs.
no.
That's if I'm feeling it. But most of the time, the regular one is perfectly fine.
Oh my gosh.
We agreed on hot tubs.
Yeah, we do. We do. Again, like I said, and I think just because my friend worked at Christopher's, I've had plenty of steak bombs growing up. And like I said, good Philadelphia cheesesteak,
Yeah,
so fucking good. Just steak and cheese, and I'm happy.
always work.
That's my
Always
go-to.
work.
But like I said, Christopher's does a also like they call it a chicken bomb. Same idea, just and it's good. Like I said, I'm just for me, peppers, onions, and mushrooms. I'm good. Grill that shit up. Put it on. I put that shit on my hamburgers when I used to eat a lot more
Oh
hamburgers.
yeah.
So, oh, fuck, grilling so
I'd say
good.
it just adds like something to it. And Sarah, she hates like vegetables, but I try to get them in when I can. I like that shit, the peppers and shit. Like when I go to Chipotle, there happens to be one right next to my job, so I go there, um, and I make the bowls like purely protein, like with like low calories. But I always add mixed grilled like veggies on there, like the grilled veggies. It's just fucking good.
I'm hungry
Just
now.
adds something.
Oh my
No,
god.
right? Well, I might go on the hunt for an egg salad sandwich. Although I'm not going to. I have this chicken sausage that I'm into right now, and it's really easy to mix with like eggs and stuff like that. And I can have like 20, 40 grams of protein while eating that. Um, it's not as fun as a steak bomb, but we're old, so
It's okay. You can have a steak bomb every now and then. It is okay, Soto. It's not gonna be the end of your life. It is
I'd
okay.
have to like run like 4 miles. I'd be like, nope, I can't. I have to run 4 miles. It's like, or else I'll balloon after this. And
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
but pizza's the only thing that I'm like, I'll always be like, well, I can get another slice. Why not? I can eat
Everyone's got
another
room for a
slice.
pizza. Everyone
Oh,
should
dude,
have
because
room.
it doesn't fill me up the first few slices. That's why I'm like, no, of course I'm not full yet. Like I can keep eating, and then all of a sudden you're like, I want to die.
You're like, I
I've had so
made a
much
mistake.
food.
I
Fucking
think I
crazy.
shouldn't have done this. Oh my
Yep, absolutely, man.
fuck, I'm
So
hungry.
I
Or I
know,
just do
right?
fish and
Dude, I'm
broccoli.
I'm making lunch as soon as I fucking love broccoli. Broccoli's the fucking best. I just get the steam fresh shit. And like if I make a meal, like because obviously my wife does not cook vegetables, I'll just like cook those on the side for myself. Like I made an orange chicken the other night, and it was like orange chicken, some rice, and broccoli. Yo, that shit slapped, man. And it wasn't like anything that was gonna kill me.
Now I used to do a lot of those quick microwavable bags of like broccoli, but I found
Yeah.
these they say air fryer, but you can make it in the microwave too, like more flavored. Like there's a southwestern style
Cool.
broccoli, which is good. A
Ah.
almost an Cajun cauliflower, like Indian Curry is the word I'm looking for.
Ooh.
Which is good. It smells a little off, but fuck, it's so good.
Oh,
And
dude,
so
I love
yeah,
Indian food.
they're
Good.
actually cheaper than just the basic like vegetable bag. So yes, I'll pop that in. I'll pop in whatever chicken or fish, whatever I'm making that night. But yes, there's
Yeah.
Southwestern broccoli, which I fucking love. And I'm like, cheaper and
Well, how do you
better.
make
It
it?
tastes better.
How
Oh,
do you
I'm
make the
in.
fish?
What?
What fish do you make and how do you make it? What fish do you
Okay,
make
well,
and
right
how do you
now,
make it?
if I make fish, because I am the only one that eats fish in this household, a
Oh,
lot of times
me
it's just
too.
the quick air fryer ones. Like I've tried like
Really?
it's the basic ones. Like right now there's a garlic parmesan crusted one, which I've tasted.
Yeah.
Kind of, I hate to say fish sticks, but something you put in the air fryer, and it's just fucking good.
Oh, so you don't like cook up like a salmon or some shit
I
on the
don't
pot
have,
on the
yeah, no. I wish I had time, or just yeah. I say time. I mean, technically, I know I have time. I just have so much other shit going on. So
You're like, I have zero. You're like, I have zero interest in putting a salmon in
I
there.
love salmon. I
Saute.
love fucking salmon.
Oh,
Market
salmon's
Basket
fucking
actually has a
great.
very good salmon. It's just a little pricey, and it's not always there. But they actually have a very good salmon. I used to
How do
buy
you
all
feel
the
about
time.
lobster? Do you eat lobster too?
I used to. Well, okay, so real
Oh,
lobster,
Julie's like,
just
oh,
again the work
yeah.
to go into it. But again, I go back to Janot. So when Keely was 16, I brought her to Janot's because they had real lobster rolls. I'm not talking about imitation meat, real lobster rolls. And she didn't even know this place did subs. It was so fucking hilarious. I said, no. I'm like, there's a sub shop in the back. And that lobster roll soda, I tell you, was so fucking phenomenal. Obviously, it's priced high because of the season and stuff like that.
Oh my
Um,
god, yeah,
so
so
yes,
expensive.
I do like lobster and crab, but it's just I don't want to say like it's a lot of work. I just don't go to it as much. Chicken is usually my go-to. It's simple, and probably the healthiest. But yes, fish. I used to do salmon for market basket or just put something in the air fryer because it's quick and easy. Um,
Yeah.
but fuck it, you just steam a bag of like I said veggies or rice, and you're like, all right, I'm good. This is happy. So
Yeah, that's what I do with my. So I have my sweet Italian chicken sausage, and I just cut that shit up, into little slices, and then I make my other dish that doesn't have meat in it, like that I just put in the microwave, and then I just mix it all together, and it does well for lunch,
yeah,
So I'm just trying to keep myself, in a protein kind of a mindset, because apparently I don't eat enough leafy greens. I think I'm deficient in magnesium or some shit.
yeah. No, I've been trying to get more broccoli, and I buy kind of quick canned fruit or something. You know, just a quick
I
snack
gotta
like
eat
pears,
spinach apparently. I've never eaten. Apparently, Popeye was right. Spinach is good for you.
spinaches, and I don't like. I don't know why it's not a spinach and feta pizza. I'm like, oh, that shit's so good. But no, spinach
Oh, I
is,
love that.
if done right. I don't cook it much for myself. But yes, I don't mind a good spinach. So, but,
So good.
but yeah, speaking about my daughter, last week we didn't do a quick live show.
Yeah.
Because we went to like she's been obsessed with like the Titanic.
The
Since
movie
she's
or the
both.
event?
Well, more the event. I did show her the movie probably much younger than I should have as a parent, but we won't get into
Ah,
that.
yeah, that's
There
fine.
was a scene that hit her a little bit more than it should have. But yes, in Boston, up until June 1st, there's the Titanic Artifact Exhibit. And so
Wow.
technically, we were going to do it closer to her birthday, but I knew that weekend she was going to do something for her birthday. And the weekend before that's Memorial Day. I said, listen, let's just do it the Saturday because if something comes
Oh
out, we'll
shit.
do it next Saturday. That kind of
This
thing.
shit's
So,
real?
yeah, this shit is real. And
Wow.
so yeah, they had some artifacts from the actual Titanic. They recreated the grand staircase, and they actually recreated that the front where if you wanted to, though me and Jill didn't because I'm not gonna do this, but like the Leo and Kate Winslet, I can just the when
Oh
he's
yeah.
holding her and her arms are out, whatever they say.
Yes.
But anyhow, shit, Soto, this place was amazing. Yes, it's there until June 1st.
Kind of cool.
But yeah, we were able to see a lot of history, see a lot of artifacts, touch an iceberg that actually had the same temperature of what the water was like, so you can kind of see, or at least maybe
No.
feel what it was like. Um, when you go there, your
Wow.
ticket's like a boarding pass, and it's a boarding pass of an actual person. and it's fun because at the end of the exhibit, you kind of scan the barcode and find out if your character, yeah, I say your character, but lived or died. Me and Keely have
Wow.
lived. Our people lived, and there's more information. My character, I was a woman, and I was a writer, and yeah, she wrote a lot of books, and she continued to write books. You know, after she survived the Titanic.
Wow.
Jill and Ethan both kind of passed away, unfortunately. He was just an Irish person, and all they said was, yeah, they could never identify his body. So it's kind of
Wow.
sad. So it does hit, but yeah, there was a lot of history to it, and yeah, no, it was so fun. And I know there's so many of these exhibits. This particular one, the main ones in Las Vegas, they actually have the biggest piece of the Titanic that you can touch, because you can touch an actual piece of the Titanic here, and it's in two other countries.
Wow.
But
Really?
so many places have done this. So,
Huh.
but yeah, it was kind of just fun and learning a little bit about the history. Depends on how much you can buy an audio tour, which we didn't. I think we just kind of read everything and just kind of took our own pace to it.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
history is there. But it was quite amazing. And like I said, for some reason, she's always been obsessed with this. I remember when she was maybe 7 or 8. I took her in, mind you, this was a local play, but I took her to, and it was at the National Library, so that should tell you something. But there was a Titanic the musical, and not based on the movie, more based on the events. But it was actually kind of just
Okay.
again very moving. I know you're not a musical person, but yeah, she's always had this interest in
No.
it. Even when we went to Fun World, there was like this little ticket game that was Titanic based. I always had to play with her at, just win whatever tickets. But yeah, so I'm like,
Wow.
listen, we'll go for your birthday, then we'll go out to eat afterwards. But yeah, it was kind of amazing. Just kind of see a lot of the things that happen, read a lot of the persons, the stories of the people that were on it. Because I knew a couple. Obviously, you hear about the captain, Molly Brown, which is actually portrayed in the movie by Kathy Bates. Obviously you hear about the band, but just hear a lot of the actual people you don't hear about a lot. So,
Yeah.
it was, dude, it was amazing and just very heartfelt.
Looks
So,
cool.
it was fun, and just some of the
Looks
shit
really
that they
cool.
saw. I mean, someone had a post, because obviously they pulled up a lot of the people's rooms, and someone had like a postcard from like 1860, like just an old postcard still in their room. So, um, and they have that thing like I think James Cameron used, like to kind of dig and find more stuff. So I actually took,
Yeah.
it's somewhere on this slideshow where I took my picture with them. Like, fucking, I got it.
No, no,
We
yeah,
weren't
we saw
supposed
it.
to
Yeah.
touch it, but of course I did. Kick me out now. I don't care.
Uh-oh, you're
Obviously we did
banned
family pictures on
permanently.
the staircase, because when
Yes.
else are you going to get that option to? So, but you can see what like the first class and the third class cabins looked like. And then it's funny because like I was looking how much a first class was, like that was cheap for then. But either way, no, it was quite a cool experience. Obviously, going just spending some time in Boston, it's always fun. But no,
Yeah.
we had a blast for this. So if you're a Titanic lover, I mean, if you're listening to this, it's there until June 1st, unless it comes to a different city. I don't know where it's going after Boston, but when I originally saw this, they were supposed to stop in like November, but they extended it. So I was like, fuck it, let's just
Interesting.
go. Let's just go.
Yeah.
So, but
I still like this kind of shit. This kind of shit's cool. Like, and I went to I think I went to the art museum in Boston a couple years back, and I'm not really a big museum person, like ever in my life. I just never have. But I went like a couple years ago, and I was like, wow, this is actually fucking cool. To walk around and see old shit. Like we saw like old Egyptian shit and
yep.
old fucking art from like the fucking all these dynasties and shit. And I was like, wow, I have never cared about this stuff, and it's actually kind of cool. So maybe that means I'm getting old.
Maybe, but it's funny because I remember, I know Jill and I we went to a museum in Philly. Um, but we also, I think, took the kids to one in New York City, and there is a picture of me again. You're not supposed to touch, but Soto, there is something from the year they say 1 AD, and I'm like, you get a chance to kind of touch something from the year 1, you're gonna fucking do it. So yes,
Wow.
I'm just
I
like,
like
I had to.
just
I'm like,
fucking
I'm like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They kick me out. I'm like, so yes, I'm like, I touched something from the year 1. I, you're right.
Chad needs to touch
I do,
historical
I do.
artifacts.
You need to keep an eye on me on certain things. Uh,
I
but yeah,
want to touch this.
you know, because it's weird. You're right. It's not like I'm the biggest museum, but when you're there, like, especially for me, when I saw a lot of the like the old Japanese, the samurai, a lot of the armor, I love that shit, and that's why I
Oh
love a
yeah,
lot of these
it's just cool.
museums. You just never know what history you might want to see. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I have a love hate. You know, you don't think about loving a museum, but then you're in there, you're seeing some shit. And you're like, this is actually quite cool if you really think about it. So.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100. I used to shit on that stuff all the time, but I feel a lot differently now. I mean, it was just to look at some of the art, and those are actually painted like in the 1200s or
Yep.
1300s and all that shit. And you're looking at it, and it exists right there. Is fucking crazy. I don't touch this shit like your fucking
Well,
criminal
okay, I
ass.
will not touch a lot of the art. I didn't have, it was just there, and I had the opportunity, and I said, fuck it. In the
Yeah.
Titanic exhibit, yes, you are allowed to. There's actually something you reach in a case, you can stick your fingers in, and you can touch an actual piece of the Titanic, which was very
Wow.
cool. But you can kind of see why, like, where it's been touched a lot, for lack of better terms. So
Of
yes, I
course.
wasn't
Like,
going
come
around
on.
touching a lot of the stuff that you couldn't. But yes, I think I don't know if we were affiliated in New York City. I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing this because again,
Fuck it.
I'm like, I'm not breaking it. I'm just being very careful about it. I'm like, but when are you getting an option to touch something from the year one? Like, I'm just thinking about that from the
Right.
year one. I don't even know how they
That's
know that.
Yeah, right. You're just trusting the process. But yeah, you're right. We don't really run into artifacts like that in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I will not go up to a piece of art, which is weird because there's some arts like I saw something where it was just a straight line, and they're like, "How
Yeah.
the fuck is this art?" Like, no,
Yeah, man.
like I mean, whatever. But when you see the
Subjective.
classic art, yeah, I get it. But they're like, I can draw a straight line. Good for you. Like it was just
How's
one
that
red
make
line
you feel?
across the canvas. Nothing else
And
was going on in the
how's that
canvas.
make you feel? How did you feel looking at it, Chad?
I felt pissed because I'm like, fuck it, I could have done this. I could have been a famous artist by painting a straight line. I'm sure there's some story behind it, like, well, he did this for him. Good for him. But it was just one red line on a fucking canvas. Like, give me the Mona
Yeah.
Lisa. Give me the, give me the
Something
four
with
Ninja Turtles of
right?
art, so to speak.
Yeah.
But no, we did enjoy the Titanic thing. And there was just a lot to see. And like I said, even though they recreated some parts, um, it was just like I said, it was amazing. And they're there until June 1st. So if you're in Boston, get a chance. I don't know where they're going next, but if you get a chance, like I said, it's good. Um, that's
Cool.
it. If you like the Titanic, the history behind it. So, oh. So anyhow, Soto, I think that might do it for us. We've been on for almost an hour. We've had
We
wrestling.
didn't have any. Yeah, we covered a lot of food.
Food's good.
That we talked. The Titanic was the main was the main
I don't know.
subject. I feel like.
I don't know. But you searching for I felt bad for you just having a bad egg salad. I mean, it's kind of
Dude.
tough.
I
It's
mean,
just
I'm gonna have a good one. I'm gonna learn how to make it.
it's
Apparently it's not hard.
no. Soto, can you boil eggs?
Yes,
Okay. Can you let those eggs cool down?
yes,
Can you deshell the eggs properly?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Can you beat those eggs with mayonnaise in it? Beat the
Well, don't you have to chop it up first?
You could, or you could just, Jill's got this thing like a masher, but as long as you're breaking the egg apart, and then adding mayonnaise. But can you do those two steps?
Yeah, yeah, I could do those two
Okay,
things.
you
Yeah,
can make a
absolutely.
fucking egg salad then,
I
and then
can't
it's
believe
up
I
to
didn't have
you.
mayonnaise in my shit.
I know some people add celery, peppers. That's your prerogative. Like I just need fucking eggs and mayo. Like I said, I add lettuce afterwards, and I'm happy. You can add a piece of cheese, and I'm happy. But egg salad's not.
Uh,
It's a little time consuming. But if you can boil eggs, you can make egg salad. But then again, you can make deviled eggs too, and that's a different story.
yeah, I like deviled eggs. They're good.
Everyone gravitates to them during the holidays. If you see them, you're
They're
like,
so good.
I gotta get one. And the next thing you know, you ate six. You're like, what the fuck have I done?
Oh, I easily, man. No, no problems there for me. Like I can house those motherfuckers. They go down real quick. So
Yeah, they do.
eggs brought to you by eggs.
Yes, if Eggs wants to sponsor us for anything, we'll take free eggs. Um,
Sponsored by eggs. Yeah.
we're just sponsored by Eggs. Fuck everything else. But anyhow, yeah, no, we had wrestling, we had food, and Titanic. Definitely an interesting week.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely.
we'll be on again next week. Hopefully Soto's in a good place with the Celtics. Hopefully he's not pissed off. We'll see what
Hope
happens.
not.
I
I
know
mean,
you.
it'd be sad. It'd be a tragedy. That's for sure.
And then we'll probably talk about what just happened at Backlash with John Cena. Just
Yes.
because it's fucking entertaining, and that's just what we're doing right now.
Randy
So
Orton. Oh my God. Cody Rhodes cost John Cena the championship belt. Randy Orton wins it tonight. You're like, that would be the dumbest thing ever. Imagine.
just
Like,
makes
what would you do the rest of the year?
I have no idea. Just continue to watch, see what
A
happens.
three-way between John Cena and Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam.
You know what? We will see. Yeah, anything is possible. SummerSlam's a 2 night event, so there's going to be a lot more
Dude, did you
matches
see the tickets are like? Did I read the tickets were $40,000?
at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I have no idea because I never looked
Okay.
into it. I know they have a
All right.
SmackDown coming to Boston, I think August, which every now and then I look, I'm like, Jesus Christ, these. Soto, when I was in maybe after college, because I did go to an event in college, I worked at a grocery store which had Ticketmaster in it, and
Mhm.
probably got myself a ticket. I should, but I'm like, I had front row. I had front row to a WCW event. And this is before they started going very downhill. This is the height of Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen and the NWOs,
Mhm.
sort of. So, but anyhow, like the front row, I think only cost me like $50, 50, 60. I didn't pay that. I
Yeah.
accidentally hit the wrong number because you have to do like, you have to type so fast. It's like I think it's like AQ, or A2Q, like for quick. And then it just
Mhm.
prints out best available. Then you have people pay afterwards. I
Mm.
accidentally, the first two or three, I hit AQ2, which printed up one ticket, but it was a front row ticket. And because
Oh,
I only had one,
jeez.
I put it aside and I bought it for myself. And, we sold, I had a couple of friends buy, like, so we kind of switched afterwards. But yeah, I think it was only like 50, $60. And Soto, yeah, SmackDown's coming to Boston. I'm like, well, let me check this out for me and Soto. And I'm just like, it's like thousands and thousands of dollars for a
Right.
fucking episode of SmackDown that we could just watch it. Which, don't get me wrong, like I said, if they had, if a ticket gets decently priced, I might be like, let's just fucking do this. Like, for example, let me ask you, what's the cheapest you would pay for a SmackDown ticket that you can actually, probably see the
The
ring? I'm not talking about.
cheapest?
I'm not talking about the nosebleeds. Like, what is your go to? What is the most you are willing to pay if you could see
I
the ring?
mean, probably like $100.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Top of my
But we
head.
can, we can watch that at
You know what I
home.
mean?
But you know what? I am keeping an eye on
Yeah.
it because you never know what happens. But yes, like front row, and even not even or just I'm like, why? Like I don't know if it's reselling. I don't know. It's just fucking
I don't
insane.
get it either, but I mean, I'm sure Backlash is expensive tonight.
Oh my!
What town is Backlash in today? It's like Randy
I'm
Orton's
gonna assume
hometown.
7 or 8. That's a lot of times. That's what it's on. But hold on, I will give you the official time. Backlash, not backpack. Hold on a sec. Fuck yous. 2020. It's in St. Louis. I forgot. I only say that
Oh, Sam.
because Randy Orton's from St. Louis, so
Mm-hmm.
his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton, might appear. Um, all right, backlash time. 7 p.m. Our time, 7 p.m.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Wonderful. An
just
excellent time.
an excellent time. Um, but anyhow, yes, I keep looking at those SmackDown tickets in Boston, and I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ! I'm like, it is just so expensive. Like, this is
Yeah,
dumb.
no, no.
Like, we just want to enjoy some wrestling, good
That's all.
wrestling. But
Hmm.
all right, so I know the Celtics are on, so we're gonna kind of end this so you can go watch your game. But we will do this again
Hooray!
next week, and who knows what we will talk about? We'll talk about some shit, and we will go from there. But until next time,
Nice.
you know, it's been fun. No one's listening anyway, Soto. We're just doing this for ourselves.
Ah, dude. To be continued.
To be continued. Listen, if anyone hears this, comment, and I will comment back. I'm not gonna promise a $20 gift card. I ain't that shit. But anyhow, just tell us that you're listening. Just for the fun of it, please, please. But all right, we're gonna end this. Have a good one.